What is up, you guys? This is Mini Superheroes Today.
And in today's video, we'll be taking a look at the LEGO Marvel Summer 2021 set, the Guardians ship, aka the BENATAR. It comes on this great stand, so I'm able to swivel it right here on camera, but this is a really cool set that'll retail for $150 here in the United States when it comes out, but I bought it from England and got it shipped in early from a friend over there. So with that being said, let's start breaking it down. And for some shameless self-promotion, I have a new music album out, so if you're looking for some new music, I'll drop a link down below, and if I've ever brought you value on this channel, it would really mean a lot for me if you would check out the songs and let me know what you think. So I wanted to give a size comparison of the Infinity War version of this ship and the 2021 version. This one is much more of an Ultimate Collector Series style ship, right? It comes with the stand, but it's not Ultimate Collector Series. It doesn't even pretend to be, but they are very similar in size, actually. It's actually pretty jarring when you hold them like this and see. I mean, the wingspan on the 2021 one is definitely a little bigger, but the general body size is about the same, and the wings are much more sturdy on the new version. Little joke there since that came apart in my hand, but all in all, I mean, if you already have this one, if you already have this and you don't really see the need to get this, I wouldn't blame you. I think that they're so similar that if you already have this, why have two of the same thing on your shelf? If you don't already have this, if you're a completist and you really just want everything LEGO Marvel, or if you're like me and you agree that this one looks better, then I would definitely say to pick it up. But with that said, let's take a closer look and actually break down this set for all it's worth. So as always, I like to start us off with our minifigs up first, and Star-Lord is our first minifigure we're looking at. He's a brand new figure. He uses the Owen Grady head, but aside from that, it's all new pieces. Starting at the top there, we get the Superman hair with the little curl in kind of the, blondish, reddish hair that Star-Lord has had for a while now. I didn't really like it on the packaging or the reveals, but now that I have it in hand, it actually doesn't bother me that much. The torso, of course, is the Star-Lord jacket on the front and back. Really, really nice printing. I sure wish he had arm printing, but it's almost made up for by the legs. The dual molded legs with the black on bottom and reddish on top is really, really nice and makes for a great figure. Also, his guns use the traditional Star-Lord blaster mold, but they're in a new kind of gunmetal gray color, not quite the charcoal color that we've gotten on previous Star-Lords, so that's a nice welcome addition as well. Pew pew! Next up, we have the Drax minifigure, and LEGO honestly went all out on the detail for this. I really think they got his facial expression right, the tattoos look great, and honestly, I just can't believe they included Drax. He looks amazing. In no particular order, next up we have Mantis, who is a really nice inclusion because she only came in one set back in 2017 from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So if you happen to miss out on Mantis that time, I'm sure a lot of people are very excited to get her again to help round out your Guardians of the Galaxy collection. So it's really nice. It is a new torso, but everything else has appeared elsewhere. A nice inclusion for those that didn't get her, and for those that did, it's a nice variant. Here we have Thor, or, kind of the fat Thor from the end of Endgame, which to some may seem like a very random inclusion, but I think because this set is going to be on store shelves for a while, they're gunning on it being on shelves when Thor Love and Thunder comes out, where we'll definitely see the Guardians and Thor together again. So with that being said, it's a nice figure. I've always hated this Stormbreaker design, if I could say so myself. I think mine is a lot better. The hairpiece is new, the torso and head are new, but if we lift this up, you can see on the back that there's lightning eyes for Thor 2, which are a very nice and worthy inclusion, so really nice figure from Thor. Here we have a Chitauri soldier, pretty run-of-the-mill. He came in two other sets from this wave, so nothing very exciting. And honestly, we should have got Gamora or literally anybody else instead of him. But anyway, that's the Chitauri. Here we have Rocket Raccoon, who utilizes a new head mold that allows you to actually turn his head, you can see. The previous Rockets always had, shoulder molding that kept his head in one place, but this is really nice for what it is. I'm a little weirded out that he doesn't have, brown hands, to match his fur, and it's a little weird to see Rocket without the gray fur that he's always had in previous LEGO sets. So, definitely an interesting change. I'll be curious to see what they do with Rocket for future LEGO sets, but it's very cool. And the new head mold is definitely a welcome upgrade. I love the goggles printed on there and everything, and he's got a little gun build too that's really nice. And the Groot figure is our last figure from this set, and it's a figure that I both love and hate. Let me explain. For some reason, I just don't think the color works for me, but then as soon as I say that, I'm like, oh my god, this thing looks so good. If I'm being honest, I think I'm just so used to seeing the dark brown version of Groot that seeing any other version is just kind of jarring to me. So it is a very nice figure, and even as I sit here and talk about it, I like it more as I look at it. So it's just an interesting figure to me that I both love and don't love it at the same time, but I really do like it. I know that's confusing, but drop a comment and let me know what you think of this Groot. Do you really like it, or do you kind of get where I'm coming from that it's just a little too different? Alright, so taking an overview here, we can actually spin the entire thing around because the ship sits up on a mantle. It does come off of this if you wanted to swoosh it around, but overall, I just kind of wanted to give a 360 once-over to it. I really wish that there was a way to, like, display the minifigures down here, or that there was, like, one of those cards that Ultimate Collector Series Star Wars sets come with that tell you about the ship, like, you know, how much it weighs and how big it is and stuff. I just always think that's an interesting inclusion and definitely would have been welcomed here. So before I open up the cockpit, I just kind of wanted to show underneath here, it's built immaculately. The detailing and the raising and lowering of pieces really does look fantastic. The molding of this, or really the shaping, if you will, is just immaculate. I love these engines underneath here, the thrusters. The wings on the side, actually might be easier to show you from over here. The wings on the side do move down, but they don't move up. They're permanently affixed in that direction, but the wings lower do move too. So that's kind of cool. And yeah, let's take a look inside this cockpit. So you can open the front cockpit like that if you wanted. And let's go ahead and use Star-Lord as our guinea pig figure here. So the easiest way is actually to lift that entire lid up and then put your figure in here and then close it back down, and then it looks like he's typing on these little pieces here. You can close it and you can vaguely see the figure through there. It looks really good. And then of course you could also put a figure in the higher chair too, and there's these cool little like razor blade pieces that kind of look like thrusters for him to drive or something like that. So that is really cool, and it closes up and it looks a little something like that. So once we get up top, we can actually lift these roof pieces off to access the inside of the ship. And let's go ahead and spin this around so that you can see inside of there. It's a little tricky from this angle, but I'll go ahead and move the camera, but that's what it kind of looks like. Here we go. So here's another angle. And as you can see, there are some seats up front here where you could have some figures hang out. The one thing I like is that this is the first Milano that you can actually fit every version of the Guardians of the Galaxy into it comfortably. So, you know, you could have two people up front, so maybe Star-Lord, Gamora, Groot, Rocket, Drax, Mantis, right? Everybody can fit in here comfortably, and I really, really like that. It's a very welcomed addition. You know, it is a little bit tricky to show off the inside, so I'm going to freehand with the camera. All right, so on this side, you can see that there's a little coffee machine over there, which seemed like a really random inclusion. There are some little hooks up here that you could put some weapons on. There's some stickers you put up here that kind of give it some computerized life on the inside. And then over here, there's a picture of Gamora, or maybe it's like a picture on a screen, with a little donut for Thor. And then back here, there's just kind of like a little walkway area where the figures can hang out and walk around. So overall, it's really, really cool. And like I said, I just love that there's enough space for every Guardian in here. It's really nice. And the final area for us to look at is the back turbines or thrusters. They move out about that far, and then they move back in about that far, so not too much here. There are some nice stickers here that give some life to it, but you can see that there's some thrusters underneath here, and there's little wings on the side that open up too that really bring this thing to life. As I was building it, it's a little tricky to see, but there are some ball joints in there, and I actually thought the escape pod was going to click into there, but it's just these giant wings, which kind of confused me because I'm like, well, is this what it looked like in Endgame? And it does look like this in Infinity War and Endgame. When they land at New Asgard at the end of Endgame, it does have these big long tail fins in the back. So I think that it might not be the same BENATAR that Tony and Gamora got stuck in. But anyways, let's zoom out and I'll give you my final thoughts on this set. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit like and subscribe down below, and be sure to check out all of my other videos here on my channel. I upload pretty much every day, so if you're into LEGO, why not stick around? Well, you've made it to the end of the video. You should hit like and subscribe down below for more LEGO content from me because I post just about every single day. You'll be up to date on all the latest in LEGO, so why not join my community and hit subscribe now?